Hi everyone, welcome to my little corner of vegan YouTube. My name is Alina. Today I want to show you my new absolute favorite way to cook tofu. So if you've ever had tofu at Asian restaurants like Thai or Chinese or Japanese, you may have noticed that their tofu has this really lovely, nice texture, that it's very toothsome, very meaty. It really feels like you're eating something, substantial. But trouble is, most restaurants deep fry it, so it becomes like way less healthy than you may want to eat, especially if you're more health conscious. So this is why today I want to show you how to recreate the delicious texture that's kind of like a little crispy, a little chewy, very nice and toothsome and meaty without deep frying it. And once you cook it this way, you can add it to your favorite stir fries, grain bowls, salads, or eat it as a high protein snack if you like. So let me show you how I do this. Let's go. For this cooking method, I recommend using high protein, extra firm tofu that doesn't need to be pressed in a tofu press. The reason for that is when you toss it with spatulas when it's raw, then it won't crumble up nearly as much as the softer types of tofu would. However, if you can't find that kind of tofu in your grocery store, I do have a method for using regular water-packed tofu that you do need to press first. So keep watching and I will show it to you in a couple minutes.
First, let's open the package and get the tofu out. As you can see, this package has a bit of water, but not nearly as much as the regular firm or extra firm tofu sold in plastic containers. Next, I pat the tofu block dry with a paper towel, then start crumbling it into a bowl. I'm going for pieces that are about bite size, but feel free to go larger or smaller. You'll see that when you tear up tofu by hand, the pieces will have an uneven, rough texture. This creates a bigger surface area, and as a result, each tofu piece can pick up more sauce, which is great for saucy dishes like stir-fry, grain bowls, and others. Once the tofu is crumbled, I drizzle it lightly with low-sodium soy sauce. Next, I'm going to toss the tofu to spread out the sauce. Some pieces might look like they didn't get enough, so I'll drizzle a bit more sauce and toss again. By the way, if you're on a low-sodium diet, you can skip the soy sauce. Next, I'm going to sprinkle my tofu with some cornstarch, about 1 teaspoon. And once again, give it a good toss. Then I add some more cornstarch to make sure all of the tofu pieces are covered. Next, you guessed it, I toss the tofu again until my tofu doesn't have any dry spots of cornstarch left. The last step is to drizzle the tofu with a bit of avocado oil, about 1 teaspoon. Why do I use avocado oil here? Because it has a higher smoke point than most oils, so it can handle higher temperatures without getting smoky. One more toss, and now it's time to cook the tofu.
We can go two different ways. We can either use the oven or an air fryer. Honestly, air fryer is my go-to method because it's quicker. It's not gonna heat up your house like an oven would in the summer. The kind of air fryer that I have is by Taifer. In this recipe, it's particularly useful because it's got a really large basket. It's 12 inches by 12 inches. So you can dump the whole tofu block at once in a single layer, very convenient. Also, what's very useful is that it can go up to 450 degrees, whereas most air fryers, it only goes up to 400. I cook my tofu at 425 degrees, and it does a great job to crisp up the tofu within like 12-13 minutes. Either toss it halfway, or I usually forget. So technically, you don't even have to toss it.
All right, my tofu is all ready to go, so it's time to put it in the air fryer and cook it. I'm going to use the air fry function and set the temperature to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and the timer to 12 minutes. Oh, and by the way, you're probably wondering about this, so I have to tell you that
this isn't a sponsored video, so Taifer isn't paying me to say all these nice things about it. But I do love this air fryer and I use it every day, sometimes more than once a day. They did send this air fryer to me a few months ago and I made a full review of it and made different recipes. And for this recipe, it works really, really well. I do have an affiliate link and a 10% off coupon code. I'm gonna link them both up in the video description.
All right, I only have 3 minutes left, so I'm gonna go ahead and check on my tofu. Looks pretty good. I'm going to toss it a little bit with the spatulas and put it back. Finally, the time is up. Let's see what my tofu looks like. Oh, I just love the way this sounds. The sound of deliciousness. Look at that gorgeous golden color. Nice crispy surface. It's a little bit squishy, so you know it's not dried all the way through. All right, I'm going to declare this a success.
So this is all well and good, but what if you can't find this high protein extra firm tofu in your grocery store? Like I said earlier, I do have a little workaround for how to adapt this recipe for using with regular water-packed firm or extra firm tofu, the kind that you do need to press first. So let me show you what you need to do.
Okay, here's my block of regular extra firm tofu. You can see that it's packed in water, and before I can use it, I have to press it. I'm not gonna show you how to press tofu in this video. However,
let me know if you want me to show you my method for pressing tofu without using a tofu press or any kind of gadgets whatsoever. If you want me to share that, let me know in the comments.
I have a block of tofu that I already pressed. As you can see, it's way more squishy than the super firm tofu that I used earlier, so I have to be careful not to crumble it up. The main difference about cooking this type of tofu is that I have to cut it with a knife instead of tearing up my tofu block with my hands. I cut it into cubes that are about 1 inch in size or so, but you can cut them smaller or larger if you'd like. Next up, I'm going to add some soy sauce, but instead of mixing the tofu with spatulas, I'm going to shake it so it doesn't fall apart. Then I'm gonna sprinkle in some cornstarch, and here's the main difference.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my tofu. I'm gonna take this plate over here. It's just a regular plastic plate. I think I got a Target or something. I'm gonna put this on top, and I'm gonna start shaking. Real good. This way we don't have to use the spatulas. And if we don't have to use the spatulas, then the tofu bits will stay together and not like fall apart. Then I'm going to add a little bit more cornstarch, another teaspoon or so, and shake again. So I hope you can see that like this way. Alrighty. Oops, look what I got. Alright, no problem. Go back in there. Now I got my oil over here. I'm gonna drizzle just a little bit and do the same thing. Shake again.
The next steps are exactly the same as the ones I showed you earlier with the other tofu block, but honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of editing this video, so I think you can kind of get the idea. You put it in the air fryer for 12 minutes at 425. Then you shake it about 3 minutes before it's done, put it back in, and here we go. Lovely, beautiful, golden. Looks delicious.
So here we are. We got both of the types of tofu right here. So this is the first kind that I made. This is the extra firm, high protein kind. And this is the second type. This is the kind that I had to press first. So as you see, they both look really, really good. I would just love to gobble them up. Well, it's my video, so I can do anything, right? Really good. So now you know how to make delicious tofu for using just about any recipe you can think of. Toss it with some nice sauce, add some veggies to make a stir fry, or add it to a grain bowl for a protein component. You can actually eat them by themselves as a plant-based protein snack. I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Next up, if you want to see one of my favorite stir fries that this tofu is perfect in, check out this video over here. This is my sweet chili tofu stir fry. Just a heads up, the tofu in there will look different because it's an older video. Also, if you want to see what else I've made in the Typher air fryer, I'm gonna put a video over here. 3 recipes that I made in it. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.